Hey, hi, and welcome to A Taste of Fusion. Today, I am fusing classic dishes. We're starting off with prawn cocktail, following that with a rice stuffed chicken, and for dessert, we're taking apple crumble and serving it to you in a way you've never seen before. So, now it's time to pick up my veg, get back to the kitchen, and get cooking. All right, so we're ready to start with our appetizer, which is a take on the prawn cocktail. Now, what goes into prawn cocktail? Well, firstly, the Thousand Island dressing mix. Now, for that, I've got here some lovely eggs, which I'm popping into a bowl. I've got 5 egg yolks, actually, and just whisk them up, just to make sure that all the yolks have broken. Then, grab some extra virgin olive oil and slowly drizzle it in and keep whisking. There's about a 1/4 cup of oil to 5 egg yolks. And add in about 1½ tablespoons of white wine vinegar, but make sure that you drizzle it in very slowly, or a little bit at a time. Right. Now, once your vinegar and oil is incorporated with the emulsion, we are going to pop in 1½ teaspoons of mustard. Now I'm using some plain yellow mustard. You can, of course, create any type of mayonnaise that you want, or the basis of a dressing with whole grain mustard or Dijon, for example. So today, I want to keep it simple and get the tang of yellow mustard. And there we go. Now I've got a bit of a runny emulsion here, which is great because this is going to work very well with my prawns. Now grab another bowl. And into this, I'm going to pop in these fabulous tiger prawns. Straight in. Now to this, we're going to add ½ teaspoon of turmeric, 1½ teaspoons of red chili flakes, 1 teaspoon of coriander powder, and 1½ teaspoons of salt. There we go. Grab some balsamic vinegar and, douse the prawns with it. Mix them up. And make sure everything's evenly coated. And just put this bowl to the side because you need to let these rest for a bit. Now, what's going into our Thousand Island sort of fusion salad here, or a prawn cocktail fusion salad? Well, very simply, we're going to grab a red onion, halve it, slice it up finely. Take a 1/4 carrot, just to give it a different dimension, different crunch. And we're going to cube it. Some lovely artichoke hearts. Now these came from a can. You can use them if you get them fresh, but if you can't, don't worry, just get a can. And voila, simply just tear off the leaves, like so. Just rip it up. Let's take 2 and be really decadent today. And finally, we need a 1/4 orange, just for the citrus juice to, fuse everything together, make them all merge. And we're ready to fry up our prawns. First things first, grab a frying pan and get it onto a high heat. There we go. Get some regular olive oil and just coat the base of your pan. Very simply, get the carrots and the onion and put them in first. Because you want to caramelize them, and because they're harder in texture, they need to cook a lot more than the artichokes or the prawn. Just take a dash of white wine vinegar and just pour it into your pan. It'll help acidulate the onions and make them cook faster because you want this dish to be super fast. Once the onions and carrots start sizzling, grab some of that orange and just squeeze a little bit in. The onions have magically broken up in my pan. And in go my prawns. There's a little juice left over which I'm going to reserve for the end. There we go. Mix them. Right, so my prawns have started turning. That means they're pretty much cooked. I'm going to pour in the rest of the juice, like that. Squeeze in a little bit more citrus. And take the artichokes and pop them right in. Finally, just at the end, another dash of vinegar. Okay, so that's it. Now basically, the prawns have cooked almost. I want to keep them slightly underdone because I want to heat them at the end. But that's it. Turn the heat off. Give it one final stir. And let these rest. Now, when it comes to final plating up, you're going to merge the warm prawns with your dressing and plate it up. Okay, now for our main course. Traditional chicken roast is usually stuffed with rice and has potatoes on the sides with parsnips or carrots, a lovely glaze and a brown sauce to go with it. We are not doing any of that today on A Taste of Fusion. I'm starting off with the rice, which I've got over here. This is just rice that's been boiled a little under. That means it's still a little less than al dente. So it'll cook in the oven and take in all the juices that I want it to. I'm going to take a couple of tablespoons, actually 4 to be precise, and put them into a bowl. And to this, I'm going to take about 2 large tablespoons of cottage cheese and just drop them in there. Adding to that, 2 large tablespoons of mozzarella. Nice little mix happening there. Then I've got these lovely black currants here, which I'm just gonna, drop in just as many as I want, a little handful there. It's up to you. I would say about 2 tablespoons should do it. Right. Let's pop this here. Grab some garlic. Give the garlic a good bash and put it to the side. This is not going in the rice mix. I've got about 6 pods of garlic and 1½ onions quartered. Grab your oven dish and straight into your oven dish put in this beautiful whole chicken that you have resting on a plate. Well, if you don't, you can go get it out of the fridge and pop it right there. Now onto my chicken, I'm going to throw on 2 teaspoons of salt leveled, 1½ teaspoons of thyme, ½ teaspoon of turmeric, two teaspoons heaped of red chili flakes, one level teaspoon of black pepper, and that's all the spices that you should use right now. Grab the garlic and place it around, just chuck it in. Take the onions, throw them into your pan. Grab a lemon, halve it, and just squeeze it all around. There is a method to the madness. Then, a quarter orange, again, around. And finally, 6 red whole chilies. Crush them in your hand. Make sure you wash your hands afterwards, but it doesn't matter right now. Crush them in your hand and just, with some flair, pop them into your pan, like so. Now, extra virgin olive oil onto your chicken. A little balsamic vinegar onto your chicken. Your hands onto your chicken. Rub everything in, into all the little crevices, nooks and crannies. Make sure you get the base well. Here we have it. Inside the cavity of the chicken and back to your rice. Now, in this bowl we had the mozzarella, the cottage cheese, the black currants and the rice. I'm just going to mix them up. Make sure everything is smushed together well. Once everything is smushed together, grab some cashews, just a handful, and drop them in there. And add 2 teaspoons of brown sugar. Give it a final twirl. Right, so you've mixed all of this up. Again, grab your hands and fill the cavity of the chicken with this mix. And then a little artichoke that we have left over. Just going to take some of that, rip it up, and just close this in. Like Alibaba and the 40 Thieves, this is the cave of all treasures. Here we go. A little bit more balsamic onto my chicken, around, and our chicken is ready to go into the oven. So let's pop this in. Our oven's been preheated at 180 degrees for about 10 minutes. I'm just going to put my chicken in. Okay, so our chicken's in there. The chicken's got to cook for about 35 to 40 minutes, but I will sort of baste it with some of the juices in a bit. In the meantime, what goes in the side of a chicken roast? Traditionally, some good old potatoes. And over here, I've just sliced up some potatoes. I've kept the skin on because I want that roasty feeling to come. So I'm going to grab these potatoes and layer them into this baking tin. It's about 3½ potatoes. I've got some apples that I've cored and sliced here. Some red apples and some golden apples. I'm taking 2 apples and I'm just popping them right in. Finally, some olive oil. On it goes. 2-3 pinches of salt. 1 pinch of black pepper, but very little, just evenly around. 1 pinch of red chili flakes. Drizzle a little balsamic on. There you have it. This lovely little side for our roast, which is going straight into the oven, and by the time your chicken is done, so will this. Let's pop it in there. Right, so that's it. The chicken and the sides are in there for about 35 minutes. When you come back after the break, I'll show you what we're doing for dessert. Right, so now it's time to make dessert. Now for that I need a pan, which is in my hand. And I put this onto a medium-high flame. There we go. Now straight into this pan, we pop in half a pat of butter. And we just mix it around to melt it down. Once the butter is melting, put in about 6 heaped tablespoons of brown sugar. And here I have approximately 8 apples that I've chopped up, golden delicious and red ones together. I'm just going to put in about half of them. Just stir everything around to mix them up. Now once the butter and the sugar have started emulsifying and amalgamating together, I'm going to take 3 cloves and just drop them in there. Now once the sugar starts boiling, I'm going to grab some citrus here. I've got 1/4 of an orange. I'm just going to squeeze that in. Mix it up. The apples have begun to soften and they've started taking in all the sugars. So this is a point where I'm going to throw in my secret ingredient, the pièce de résistance, as I like to call it. I have here 3 whole red chilies. They're dried red chilies. I'm just going to break them in. There we go. Lovely. Once you've added the chili, take another 1/4 orange and squeeze the juice in. Mix it all up. I'm going to move it around for 2-3 minutes. Right, so all the excess water has almost dried up. All the bubbles are sort of moving out from the center outwards, and that's what we want. As soon as they start bubbling on this side of the pan, I know I'm done. Let's switch the flame off because I don't want the sugars to cook too much. Grab my little ramekins here and spoon in an apple per spoon. And make sure if the cloves get in there, I'll fish them out. Here I have some oatmeal biscuits that I've just crumbled up. Very simple, easier than making oatmeal at home. Grab it and pour it on. And that's it. Our ramekins are ready to go into the oven. Right, so our ramekins are in the oven. They're going to be in there for at least 10 to 12 minutes. Now, let's plate up our appetizer. All right, and we are ready to eat, and I've been joined by my fabulous friend Fia over here. And Fia, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
I'm not going to wait on formalities here. Please start with our take on prawn cocktail today.
You know what I really don't like? That we live nearby the sea, city by the sea.
Right, yeah.
Okay? But we get our seafood for so expensive. Why is that?
Well, because most of our very good seafood is exported.
Really?
Yeah.
I can taste like desi flavor. What is this?
Wait. Before I go into it, take your fork and dig underneath and pick up what is the base or what I've used as an equivalent of the lettuce today. Try that with the prawn and then tell me.
Oh my God. It's actually melting in my mouth. This is to die for. I can't finish this, but I can't wait to have that.
That is I think it's the pièce de résistance, as I call it all the time.
Okay, French, right. My French is quite bad.
That means the piece of resistance.
Oh, okay, thank you.
The final frontier. Yele. But wait, allow me to give you what typical roasts have is rice in the center. We have something truly amazing in the form of our stuffing today.
Okay, so you know, I had no idea that you put like rice for stuffing. I had no idea.
Well, traditional roasts have rice in them.
Oh my God, I'm using my hands.
Go for it, go for it, go for it.
Since it's fusion, so
listen, we love a little rusticness here on the show.
Oh, this is to die for, and I'm not kidding you.
Are you serious? You love it?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh my God, she's playing with me.
Our nation is not a risk-taking nation. And with this and your whole show, you're telling people that you can do so much with your food. So you're getting the best of both worlds.
You carry on eating this?
Yeah.
I'm going to just pop on over there, pick up the dessert, and come back with it.
Go ahead. Oh my God.
Well, thank you. And now, for dessert, apple crumble fused.
Fused as in what?
You just have to check it out.
Okay, should we begin?
Absolutely.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Isn't it enough that I'm quiet? I'm speechless because this food has been by far the best meal I've had in months.
Thank you so much for saying that. And thank you so much for coming and joining me. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm going to let Fia carry on eating because, you know, she's really said some lovely things. But from us today, we'll see you again next week. And remember, if you want to see me fuse something or have any comments, write in on fusion@dawnnews.tv. Till next week, take care and remember, be a little adventurous.
Bon appetit.
Bon appetit. Take care. Thank you. Thank you so much.